Brian.
I follow up. Endings and beginnings. And Brazilian lemonade. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do. I like your jazz hands when I say do. That's my favorite part.
I did it again. I'm sitting here listening to the music that's not playing in my head, waiting for it to conclude. We don't need silence. Why am I doing this?
I'm thinking that you always have music playing in your head.
I kind of do.
Yeah, so do I. Sometimes voices. I prefer the music. I'm not going to lie.
I usually have voices, but they're sometimes singing also. I have them both. How are you, dear darling? You look very nice today.
Do I?
Yes.
Do I really?
You've stumbled into some different lighting. Your hair is lit differently than it usually is. It's a lot lighter and brighter and blonder.
I'm
Did
illuminated.
you lighten your hair?
No.
Are you an angel? Are you floating in on heavenly wings? Is that it?
I'm an angel.
I figured that's what it was.
I've been called a devil way more than I've been called an angel, so I'll take whatever you're handing out.
Those people don't know. I don't like them. We don't care about them. They're mean. Fuck them. Let's go get them. Get a pitchfork.
Get a pitchfork. I've got a Sith. How about that?
Holy mackerel.
I always take it to the next level. I'm not going to lie. How are you doing? What's going on? How are you doing?
I'm okay. Moving a little slow this morning.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah, yesterday was the beginning and end of a lot of things. So I went to, in the late afternoon, friends were having a birthday party for their mom. So I was like, they're like, come on over. It'd be great. It's just relaxed, casual. Everybody's vaccinated.
Is this the Tiblet and Burrito family?
Yeah. So I grabbed the raspberry vodka that I made 30 days ago.
Love that you made it.
I'm like, out the door I go. I just need to have some big vodka. And as you may know, dear listener, I've been meticulously focused and dedicated on tracking and controlling
what goes in
every calorie going into my bod. And it's been working. It's been working extraordinarily well. It will continue working. And I made a thoughtful decision to abandon all of that. Right.
To abandon food.
I went to, just to put it in perspective, I went to Carowinds. For those who aren't anywhere near us, that's like a Six Flags. That's like a Universal. It's a huge roller coaster theme park. So I went to Carowinds, and the entire day did not break my eating habits.
Wow.
I ate a fucking salad at Carowinds. Okay, so I went to the funnel cake capital of the world.
That's like the inception of all fried food. I bet you could have gotten deep fried Oreos there.
I could have gotten a deep fried human finger. I could have gotten
butter.
anything. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I ate a fucking salad.
Human finger.
I didn't go. And you know what? I wasn't sad about it. It wasn't hard. It was like, oh, they have it. Great. So they have a salad. I'll have that. No problem. That's actually even better. I mean, do you know how fucking sad you got to be eating a salad in a 90-degree fucking theme park? I did it. So to go to this party the next day and decide that was the day to ceremonially break fast or whatever we might call it. I couldn't even tell you how far off the rails I went, largely because I didn't actually eat all that much. I focused instead on drinking alcohol.
Well, all I could think about is your raspberry vodka that you brought right now.
Which I really haven't done. Because the calories of a decent drink are high. And I think, well, okay, what am I really getting out of it? Because if I only have one, nothing happens. It's just the taste.
No point.
Yeah. So down the rabbit hole I went. And it was, I think, worth it. But I'm tired today. So the raspberry vodka, it was raspberry pear vodka. And it was, so I poured this vodka into a decanter and floated in basically a pint of raspberries and a whole pear and let it sit for a month. And on the other side,
pear always makes me happy.
On the other side of the refrigerator, I took a bottle of Patron and I forced strawberries down into the bottom.
Yeah, you
that's
did.
It. And that will be done again and again and again and again and again and again. I took a couple of swigs directly out of the Patron bottle yesterday at a friend's memorial, and it was so good. I can't even
You didn't add anything to it?
No, I picked up the Patron and drank from
Okay.
the bottle. Yes. And it was so good. So much better than vodka. The vodka is pretty good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, especially when there's pear in it. If somebody is
Yeah.
willing to put that ripened pear in
Yep.
it's just genius.
It was super, super good. And I mixed it into this new, because everything I do eating wise is on Instagram now. I'm so annoying. I found now all Instagram wants to do is bring me food and drink and food and food and food and food.
Yeah.
Food. So the algorithm's got my number. I saw this thing called, do you already, Brazilian lemonade? Do you already know about this?
I do not do tell.
It is so fucking good. You have to have a good blender. I hope you do. I think you do.
I have a Vitamix.
You have the best blender. So you start with a whole bunch of lemons. And if you want to get fancy, as I did, a whole bunch of limes. As many as you like. Cut the tops and the bottoms off. So it's just the middle section right
Yep.
now. It's
Rind and all.
doesn't
Yep.
yeah, rind and all. Throw it in your fucking Vitamix.
Yeah.
Take a can of sweetened condensed milk and drizzle that shit all in there. Then fill it up with some water or
Wait.
ice if you want to be stupid. Yes, stop, yes. And you mash and grind that shit, peels and all, until it is a frothy, heady mixture. You pour it over a strainer. So then you've got this kind of creamy, citrusy, tangy something. Then you pour that over vodka and ice. You take some of the foam that you had filtered off,
Yeah.
put it on top like a coffee crema.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then because I wanted to regain all my weight back, I took more of the sweetened condensed milk and drizzled it on top like it was some kind of fucking sauce.
Because I had
and
worked too hard for this.
I swear to you, you will not drink anything else again ever. Ever.
Stuart, did you get all that? Because
It is
I
so
want
easy
that.
to make. It is so easy to make. And because my vodka was fucking pink, I had this beautiful, like delightfully pink into the palest pink, melting into the palest yellow with a little yellow straw. I was like, I got a fucking instant drink and I'm drunk and it's fattening. I'm back. I'm back, viewers. I'm back. It
What's
was a
pink
good
vodka?
drink.
What pink
Because
vodka?
it's the raspberries. The raspberries been soaking
Oh
in my
yes.
fucking vodka.
So
it
so
turned
it's
it pink.
raspberry.
Yes. Oh, I use the raspberry pear vodka. I'm not a fool. I'm not a fool.
Okay.
I'm not a dumb fool.
Wow, that must have been amazing.
Yeah, I had almost all of the raspberry pear vodka.
My mouth doesn't usually water like this for beverages. It usually reserves the
It's a food.
salivating.
They had filet. They had the big long crab cakes that they had done, and everywhere it was a birthday. They had giant cakes. They had all the fucking things you could have, and I just thought, I'm feeling really full from this drink, and I will have another and another. So I was drinking the drinks like they were food because, frankly, the amount of calories in them is probably, I'm sure, akin to a meal that I've had. It tasted that way anyway. It was so thick.
Brazilian
God.
lemonade. How did
was
you learn
delightful.
about that?
The algorithms on interwebs decided that because I'm only posting food pictures on Instagram
You
now,
must desperately need to know
well,
about this treat.
she must need to know about this Brazilian lemonade. Surely she doesn't want to see Brazilian thongs or, Brazilian nuts or anything else. Well, maybe nuts. Not those nuts.
You're nuts.
D's
nuts.
Ah, she's back. She's back. So the Brazilian lemonade was a delight.
I cannot wait.
It's like a riff on is it like a Vietnamese iced coffee or is it Thai coffee? I don't remember. Where they put their sweetened condensed milk.
Sounds
is like a thing.
amazing. Yeah, well, we have
yeah,
a little can of it
Oh yeah.
downstairs, and all the recipes that I know about it are make a graham cracker crust and put on a layer of butterscotch chips and chocolate chips and pour this can over it, and then put like fresh coconut on top, and then
7-layer
put peanut butter,
cookies.
and then you have a dream bar or whatever
They're
they call
delicious.
it.
They're called them magic bars, but in our house we call
Oh.
them 7-layer cookies, and we make them every Christmas. Yes.
Oh, is that that's on the?
Yes, that's a magic bar. You've described it.
It's in the cookbook. It's in the
That's
cookie book.
It's in my cookie PDF. Yes.
Okay.
I don't have a cookbook, but yes.
Your cookie book. Yeah, we
My
made it
cookie
2 years
book, my
ago.
cookie book. Yes,
Yeah.
I still have. Yes, I have.
Okay, good.
It's
So that's the only use I've known of really for, I don't make things. Dear listener, don't get mad at me. I don't make things. I eat things. I drink things. And right
you
now
make
I'm drooling.
You make people happy. You make that.
Oh, I'd like
That's
to think
true.
that I make some people happy.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I like to think that.
Yes.
I did not make my son happy the other
Nope.
day. After podcasting, I had an appointment to go see a doctor
Okay.
because I have an eye issue.
Oh no.
She made me aware, this physician, that I have a both eye issue. It's not one eye. That this also happened in my other eye, and I might not have noticed it as dramatically, but I have progressed past the 6 weeks wait and watch on my left eye, and here I am I'm in the watch and see on my right eye.
What's happening in there? What's going on?
Yeah. So I've always thought that when you see floaters, tired, I get it. And that's something I feel like I've always had, even when I was younger. It's just like it looks like a little string. It's clear.
Yep.
Doesn't really block anything because it's clear. But as you go to try to watch it, it moves because it moves with your eye, moron. Stop trying to catch that fucking floater.
Talk nicer to your eye, please. It's helping you.
Okay. Right. It's my inside voice. So it's not helping me that much because it turns out at the back of your eye where your retina comes and plugs into your eye where it receives
Super creeped out. I'm super
all of the
grossed out right
images.
now. She's making it worse, gang, because she's taking her two fingers and making one in a bulbous shape and the other was pulling on it like some sort of octopus tentacles that are going to suck it out of her face.
Right. So the lining of the inside of my eye has detached from my retina.
Detached retina! I told you
No,
last week.
the
I told
retina
you last
didn't
week.
detach.
God.
I call it a mucus plug because that's what's holding
That's
it.
even worse. It's just so gross. All of it.
I think we should get your husband online to hear this right
Oh
now.
my
'cause he would love this
Wow.
conversation. So it has
No.
detached from my retina,
The plug
and
of mucus?
the mucusy plug that has
Okay.
held on. So I go to the doctor, and
really
because
good.
I know she's going to need to dilate my eyes, and I don't know what else, I asked my son to drive me home, right? Because I won't
Right.
really be able to see. And so I go, and she explains, here's what's happening with your eye.
Oh, God.
Welcome to your new normal.
Oh, we wanted a different answer, please.
Yes. I'm like, what else you got? So she said,
Try again. Yeah.
what's weird, Melissa? I'm like, fuck.
Oh.
Is that this doesn't usually happen to 48-year-old women. It happens to 78-year-old women.
You should say, well, thank you, plastic surgeon. My real age is ... That's
What if,
terrible.
would KY help this? That's
You
another
got some-
78-year-old
you got some
problem.
Old, dried out mucus plug cataractic eyes.
I've got, cataract they could fix. This you cannot. She said, as that floats around, it could touch on and get stuck to and tear my retina. And that would be
Great.
something
That
a
sounds
surgery, right? That would be something a surgery could fix. But this, what I call it is a floating, foggy tumbleweed that goes through my vision.
Right.
So I told you last week, I'm kind of like grabbing at
Yes.
things that don't exist.
Yes.
She said, yeah.
Like a grandma cat. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So she said your brain, maybe not my brain, but one's brain should eventually try to reconfigure what it's seeing. Your brain can work harder and
This sounds really good. It's almost like you can make up a new reality for yourself.
well, that's what your brain starts to do, like fill in pictures that aren't there because there's a tumbleweed in front of it. So she said if it's really going to get much worse, it usually happens within the first 6 weeks of the detachment.
Fantastic. This is really a delight.
So, yeah.
Oh my God. How are you sitting
The-
here not quaking and throwing up and
I wanted
strangling
to
this
cry when I
ophthalmologist?
wanted to cry when I first heard. I'm not going to lie.
But you didn't have the mucus to do it.
But my
Yeah.
son was sitting there, and I didn't want him to worry, and I didn't want him to panic. So what she does, she said, I'm going to put a diagnostic lens on your eye. And I thought, okay, Amy told me all about this, right? Amy prepared me for
that's what
this.
that was. Right. I had it totally wrong, I'm guessing.
No, but in my head, I picture like a contact lens. That's how it happened. That's how it happened. She did Clockwork Orange me and
She'd
open
pull
my
your shit
eye.
out, stick her fingers in the back there and probe the mucus.
She took dear listener, let me start by saying I'm sorry.
I was gonna
You
say,
might want to
this is-
skip ahead 20
we may have-
seconds.
I think we picked up a few listeners, and similar to my Instagram feed, you get that follow effect. They join you, and then they're like, "Oh, it's the wrong.
I was
room.
wrong.
I'm getting out."
I was
Yes.
wrong.
So it was. We loved having you guys. Try us again.
You know
next
the
week.
jeweler's loop? You know the jeweler's loop that
Yes.
you put up
and then
to your
they put
eye?
a flashlight through it. Yeah, I had that. I had
Yeah.
them sear into the mucus spot in my brain.
So I won't go any further, but they definitely suctioned that shit onto my eyeball and then twisted it in many directions because it's like a light box. It's got mirrors inside there. And then like you prepared me for this searing light that went into my soul. And I said, I lost an earring last week. If you find it, it's really just the back. And she's like, I don't see any earring backs in here. First she said
no sense of
nothing.
fucking humor.
First she said
God.
nothing. And
now
my
you're really worried because I'm like, if you can't joke when you've got your fingers probing my brain.
she said nothing, and my son is laughing. So I'm like, I'm going to keep going. You can't stop me.
Anything for the audience. I had this procedure done.
It was
I need
awful.
To tell you, easily 22 years ago, and I described
Wow.
it in vivid detail. So I hope that. First of all, the medicine has evolved since then. But secondarily,
It has not.
it stuck with me. I mean, when somebody goes in there with their vampire fingernails and wants to go into the back of the...
Here, I'm going to turn this. She's like, I gave you numbing drops. I'm like, an hour ago when
Yeah,
I
that
sat
doesn't-
down
that
and you asked
doesn't.
me about my in-laws
Unless
and my
they're made
husband.
of pure Stoli, I need more
Ooh,
of
that-
the drops
that
on my
might have been a-
tongue. Yeah.
Tincture might have been a good idea before that.
All right,
that
so
visit.
cut to it. So it was terrifying. It was difficult. It's
And I have
over
to go
now.
back in 5 weeks to do the same thing again so she can see if anything worse has happened. And she said, if anything worsens, your husband has my cell phone number. And I thought, why does he have your cell phone number? I always love the idea
Is she good looking? I don't
of
think I like
I
this.
could
Yeah.
call you and I could need you and your pants will ring. Like to me, that's instant. That's instant get to the, but he's like the chief over there at the hospital. He has everybody's phone number. So that's why he has it, not for any good reason. So it says, is there anything I can do to make this? No, you didn't hear my question. To stop this? No. From advancing? No. Is there anything I did to? No. Okay. So
I'm
not
so fucking tired of this. I met a woman at this party. I was going to call it a cocktail party, so that's what we'll call
birthday
it.
party.
I met a woman at this
Just because you were
party.
cocktailing
And
doesn't
I
mean
didn't, I didn't meet her. I've met her many times before, but she's not there all the time. So she was there again this time, right? A coworker of theirs from whatever. And she's telling me this tale. She's got a fucking tumor in her head.
Yeah.
And the answer was, get used to it.
Yeah, there's
right?
nothing we
I
can
hope
do.
it doesn't get bigger, because if we go in and take it out, you know, the
Could
side
lose
effect-
this,
You could
this,
be
this.
deaf. Your face could be paralyzed. You could turn into a vortex of pain. Blah blah blah. So if it's not bothering you too much that you can't hear out of that ear, just keep walking. And I'm like, what?
And let us know. That's it. Keep walking. It's
Watch and
absolutely
wait.
it. Watch
Watch and wait in
Let's
terror
wait
for
and
the
see.
tumor growing slowly in your head, next to your brain, behind your eardrum. Like, surely.
My mom has
when they
that
give you a
tumor,
medical
by the way.
degree, surely when they give you a medical degree, they come up with answers that are better than this. They write
There's a whole
textbooks.
class on wait and
They
see.
have chapters. There can't be a class on wait
Whole
and see.
chapter, a whole class on wait and see.
Oh my
There's a
God.
course on death telling and a course on wait it out. Let's see. And once there's that tumor. My mom has that tumor, by the way. Has a tumor in the back of your head where you can't lift your arm past here anymore, and you don't really have residual hearing so much. In that, it gives you diarrhea thinking about what's coming or what could come, or it starts messing with your other systems. But yes, that's what it is for her, most definitely. If anything worsens, come back and see me. And for me, yeah, I'll see you in 5 weeks, and we'll strap you down again.
I don't want to keep doing this. I don't want to have it.
I want to
Is there-
cancel that
Is
appointment.
there a way we could say that I don't want this in my eye? I want all of the mucosa.
Suction back where it
what-
belongs.
what-
Your
what was-
vitreous,
what
yeah,
was
your vitreous fluid.
Oh, what was that Harry Potter thing?
Wingardium Leviosa.
Leviosa. It's Leviosa.
It's Leviosa.
Leviosa, not Leviosa. I don't want the mucosa.
Okay,
attached to
Hermione.
I'm
My
just
vitreous fluid is now running rampant inside my eye.
Did she ever finish her paragraph about you got them old lady eye sockets? Like, did she ever fill out the rest of it? Or was
Yeah,
it like,
this is surprising that it happened in someone so young. And I said, see, honey, to my son, she called me young. She's like, yeah, but these eyes, do.
great.
These
So
eyes,
she's not a good person. Whether she
She's
has
lovely.
your husband. Nope, she's not. I don't like it. I don't like it. And how would you know? You can't fucking see nothing. Your eyes aren't even attached to your face.
Not anymore.
No one trusts you. God. This is
You
why
shouldn't.
this is why you're on the Peloton. You can't see. You don't
I
know.
start-
Maybe you have funhouse clown eyes. And that's why you have such a strange, altered worldview.
Then I
figure
said-
it out.
Then I said, well, what made this happen? I roll my eyes a lot. My kids and my husband are a lot. Is that? She's like, no, that didn't do it, rolling your eyes. So Ethan says, so it's not my fault. I'm like, okay, honey.
Delightful.
Somehow this is going to be your fault.
Delightful.
And, we have friends who have serious eye problems. I have a friend who's got a narrowing glaucoma, and she's going to have
fuck stick. Really? Okay.
Well,
ouch.
our friend Annie is like blind in one eye.
What?
And in the other eye, she has like a drainage problem where.
Oh, come on. That's not real.
She won't have a surgery.
That's not surgery. She's not going to have surgery. Are you kidding?
Well, that's her one good eye. She can't have a surgery on the good eye.
Her body was built whole and free from the universe and will not be violated by knives. I know that without even asking. I guarantee you there's no surgery coming.
Luckily, it's not a knife. It's a laser.
Even
How does she
worse.
feel about lasers?
Nope, pass. Nope.
Hard
nope.
pass.
There's going to be some transcendentalist meditative yoga.
That's probably true. Dr.
A whole
Touchbottom.
lot of nuts and
she has a physician
a
that her
weekend
family
of laughing.
sees.
And you know what? And it will improve.
Is that curative?
Her methods work. They work.
She has a physician that she and her family go see, who they call Dr. Touchbottom. I think his name is Dr. Buckley. And I always want an appointment when I go there. Shout out to Dr. Buckley. Come see me. Let me see you with my good eye, which she said also has it and isn't good anymore. Anyway, his name is Dr. Touchbottom because inevitably, before you leave his office, he has an adjustment phase with your coccyx as well as other aspects of your keister.
Wow.
So when anything is going wrong, when one child had some sort of bacterial or whatever infections, that's great. We'll get treated for it. It's more important we see Dr. Touchbottom. He can really get it to the bottom of this.
Oh my God.
And at least to your bottom. And it works every time. So I do shake my head and think, oh, you crazy hippies who maybe believe in lasers and maybe could fix your vision, but they maybe have the right idea. Next time I go up there, I want an appointment. Dr. Buckley, I'm coming for you. I want an appointment.
I think that's really gross. I don't like it.
If it's gonna put my vitreous fluid back where it belongs and put my mucus plug back in my retina, I would see him daily for an.
I've been sitting here debating while we've been talking because I don't want to out my dear friend, and yet I'm gonna do it. I'm just super gonna do it. My favorite doctor story about our friend is once she had to go to a different doctor for some, twist of fate, whatever. You just end up with a different doctor. You need to see somebody today for something that maybe was like a UTI or just something going on where, it's not a cough, right? Goes to this doctor.
Well, first, don't you have to say that going to a doctor for this person
is kind of a big deal, I think.
Is a last straw because you've tried every other homeopathic everything before it gets to that? Okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So she ends up, and it's like, I got to get this shit taken care of. Oh my God, I don't even understand it. So ends up, maybe it's like goes to the practice and hers isn't there that day and someone else is there. And so it's just like, okay, we're going to take care of this. And the person who happens to be there is a personal friend of maybe like a parent of the child or what have you. And so now we're discussing a medical condition, the roots of which likely stem from vigorous sex. So she's having this conversation with this dude and it's like, bye. Yeah, nope. Oh my God.
See you at parent-teacher conferences.
Oh my God. She's like, thank you for the advice. Goodbye. So maybe that contributes to why, Western medicine is not my bag, baby. Right. I mean, at least in the yoga class, if you fart or something, everyone feels like it's the winds of the universe.
And everyone does it.
Yes,
right.
It's your chi exiting the body or whatever happens to be. It's all fantastic.
But it's ultra insult to injury that you have to share the ratcheted up problem because the roots and minerals that you've been rubbing on your lady parts from this because you believe that'll help by the time you get to your husband's worst student's father
Let me just, without any information, evidence, or intimate knowledge of the situation, absolutely and unequivocally confirm for you that my good friend is not rubbing roots and minerals on her ting ting hoo ha. It's just not the way. No, that area I'm sure is a sacred mound of Venus and touched only by other humans. I think that's it.
Plural?
There's no. You said tincture before. We're not palpating with tinctures and swabbing.
Okay.
No, leave it alone. All of her stuff is bright and shiny and perfect. She doesn't need her neighbor telling her that her husband's getting it on too hard. It's all safe and fine. Everything's good.
While we're discussing things that are kind of gross,
Her lady parts are not gross. Maybe me discussing it is gross.
I
That's
think
right.
rubbing things on it and then bringing something worse to a doctor saying, I tried my best before seeking medical help.
She didn't do any of that stuff.
I think she might have taken herb of newt. I think she might have taken things to... Well, I guess she'll be our first phone-in caller, and we will find out.
And, she will lead the stampede of listeners leaving the show.
No, don't do that. So this might be our grossest show. For those of you who have trouble with dog eye boogers, really, you ain't seen nothing yet.
A lot of people do, by the way, which still fascinates me. I don't understand their problems.
I trained 2 brand new dogs to eat their eye boogies, so it's a thing.
Oh, my God. Okay.
This morning, my husband was making breakfast.
Hey-oh.
As you do when you're going to work and you have to eat early. And we have these, I think they're Jimmy Dean. They're like cups that have egg in it and a pouch that you cut that shakes in some cheese and some bacon or whatever it is.
Just add an egg. Is that what it says on the
No,
outside?
it actually has the egg in it in a little pouch.
Oh, okay.
That you pour into the cup and then you microwave it and then you add the additives and then you microwave it again. So he adds like 3 more eggs to what they give you, which is probably an egg and a half. Well, as he's doing it, he must have dropped some shell into the cup before microwaving it. The whole thing, I'm against the whole thing. I don't think you should microwave eggs. That is not a way to make eggs. When you use microwaves, you change the vitamins and minerals in your food. You're changing why you're eating it in the first place. You're not eating microwaved eggs because they're fucking delicious. You're eating microwave eggs because it's sustenance. You're going to work, but it's no longer once you, right. Enter gamma ray Hulk. So he's cracking an egg in there and I hear, fuck. So what does that mean to you?
Always a good sound coming from the kitchen.
Right. What does that mean to you?
I can't even imagine.
He drops some shell while cracking an egg, he drops shell into this cup. So now he has to fish out shell. So as he's fishing it, he can't get it, he can't find it, and he uses a utensil to get in there to go, like, other than his finger. Initially,
God.
It was his meat hooks, and then I said, what's going on over there, bud? First of all, I come in with my 20/20 hindsight. I said, shouldn't you crack that shit into a bowl or a cup first and then pour it in there? He's like, yeah, fuck off, right? He wants nothing to do with me.
Good morning, Dr. Sunshine.
He didn't say it, but he absolutely meant
His
it.
eyeball said it, and your retina
Yes.
is held on by a thread and could still see. I know.
It's gone.
I know.
So he cracks his egg in and so he's like fishing, and he said, Melissa, it wouldn't be as bad if I didn't just use the spoon to get it that I used to mix the dog's pumpkin puree with their dog food.
What is wrong with this person? Oh, my God.
Dog food and pumpkin puree, slight rinse right into the egg bowl. Like, I just can't with him. And I threw up a little in my mouth and I thought, well, now I'm not hungry where I was before. And I just, as far as gross shit goes, like, you can't gross my husband out. And to be honest, that's one of the reasons I fell in love with him.
Did he eat it?
Oh, yeah. He put it in the microwave. Wait, first he cracked 2 more eggs in there and then he put it in the microwave. And
Okay.
he
These
ate
things,
it.
I'm sure, cost less than $1.10 each. I absolutely.
You're in the wheelhouse. Yeah.
Okay. Throw it the fuck away and use a new one. What's the matter with you? Did you serve it to yourself in the dog's dish? How far are we going to go with this? It's okay to commingle with the canines. Stop it.
No.
He needs
It's
to
not
grow
okay.
up. You need to grow up and figure out how to eat human food, and that's it.
Take human bites. Yes, it was so gross that I had to leave the room. And he didn't seem to mind, but he knew it would gross me out. He's like, you know what the worst part is? What?
Oh,
I
God.
used the spoon from preparing the dog's food. Like, all right.
Just,
I think that's worse than not eating, but feeding eye boogies. Also, remember I told you I'm a fan of a fan. We have the Mouse and Weens podcast.
I do, and I did, yes.
I've been for a lot of dentistry. So she talked about on pod her husband getting a cadaver bone when he had a
In his
post replaced in his jaw. He had
Okay. All right.
he had some dental work done that required a cadaver bone. And that just sent me on a crazy spiral of, well, whose bone was it? And were they a good person? And does this
Is it
give
the
you
jawbone of an ass? Yeah.
does this Joelle give you the opportunity to say to your husband, I think it was Joelle who I think that's who had it. Does that give you the opportunity to say, I don't like this behavior. It must be one of the behaviors from the cadaver bone. Must be a personality trait of this
okay.
human,
I see.
we hope, that gave you this bone fragment for your face. I don't like this. So you better work on fixing all of these traits. As I'm talking to you, there's a thing running through my vision. This is all new to me, dear listener. I'm sorry for getting distracted by my lack of vision.
Distracted by your eye. Maybe it's the demons trying to tell you they're taking over.
Maybe it's the cadaver bone. Who knows? Would that bother you, having a cadaver bone put in your jaw or anywhere in your body?
I wish that I could say it would. Nah. I mean, I thought about it for a while. So, because I've had some things replaced and they offer it up as an option. And in the end,
You went plastique?
no, I think I do have some spare parts. I think I do. Let me think. Yeah, I super do. Twice. As a matter of fact, I think that's how important this was to me. I can't remember. When they stitched my knees back together.
Yes.
With I have staples and screws and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, because if they do it from you, they have to like cut another part of you. And I was like, I don't want to get cut twice. Go cut the dead guy. Stick his shit in there. I think it's fine. A bone seems different and worse, though. That seems like a bigger deal.
Then what, a ligament? What are we talking? What did you say you had replaced?
I have torn both of my anterior cruciate ligaments, my ACL in both knees. They've both been replaced with hardware, physical hardware. And they had to put some shit in because you don't have it. I don't have any cartilage left. So there's nothing for me to attach. The stuff rips apart and there's not enough to stitch it back together. So they had to use like extra pieces from some other person. If they had done it for me back in the day, I'm sure they do it totally differently now. Back in the day, they were going to have to cut it like out of your thigh or out of your ankle or something and put, I'm like, stop. Just don't do that. Don't do that. I've had other surgeries too, but
you have
yeah,
other people inside of you besides your husband.
Well, I mean, all the time, but, I think so. Look at her teeth going. You could have cadaver teeth. It would creep you out having a cadaver. I mean, the jaw, a whole bone is kind of like, that seems a little barbaric. The other stuff is kind of just like, I don't know, a cheek swab or something. It feels like we swap this stuff out using somebody's hairbrush, kind of. No?
I'm a donor. Like, it's definitely on my license for when they scrape me off the road, whatever's left we can use. Like that kind of thing. If it's still good,
take it.
If it can help, other than my eyes, which have proven to be fucking useless. You say here that BuzzFeed knows me better than I do?
They think they do.
Is that possible?
They think they do. I don't know if you're curious and you would like an answer to this question, but they seem to have posed it in a way that might be illuminative. Let's see.
Illuminate me, Fugazi. Illuminate me.
Well, BuzzFeed seems to think that they can tell your age and your birth month by which donuts you order. Pick your first donut. Apple cider, Oreo, strawberry rhubarb, or chocolate and vanilla.
Seriously? Those are my only choices?
These are your choices. Pick your first donut.
Give me another one. Repeat them, please.
Apple
Sorry.
cider.
Absolutely not. Oh, apple cider donuts.
Apple cider donut. Oreo, so it's a chocolate donut with Oreo topping. Strawberry rhubarb.
Absolutely
which
not.
Just looks like Pepto-Bismol threw up on a bakery tray. And chocolate and vanilla. So it's just basically a vanilla donut with
apple cider. Apple cider.
Selected. Now we're moving on.
Donut.
Okay.
Because I love those
Choose
at
your
the orchard.
second donut. Key lime pie.
Absolutely not.
Chocolate almond. Maple bacon. Red velvet.
Red velvet.
Click.
Because that's delicious.
What
Because
will
it's
you
really
pick
chocolate.
for your third one?
Go ahead.
Caramel, cotton candy,
Ew.
lemon and blueberry, or chocolate hazelnut.
Chocolate hazelnut. That's Nutella right there.
Click. Pick your fourth donut. Pumpkin with maple frosting. Grape. Cinnamon.
That's not a thing.
Cinnamon crumb. Oh, this is a fucking hard one because they got cinnamon crumb and right next to it, Bavarian cream. which is that soft puff pillow donut stuffed with the custard. Or maybe
Is that a Boston cream?
No, it's just a sugared outside, a regular ass donut, sugared outside, and then inside it's not the pudding. It's like the lard whip that they turn.
Cinnamon crumb.
Yeah, that's a really good one. That's probably. How about your fifth donut? Glazed. Meyer lemon, which is glazed with a lemon top, brown butter and pistachio. Fuck, that looks good. Which is a glazed with a total green thing on top and then sprinkled with pistache, or peanut butter with chocolate drizzle.
I want them all. Wait, what? That's the hardest level. You've hurt my brain. I want them all. I want it all.
Glazed Meyer lemon,
Give me
brown butter and pistachio, peanut butter with chocolate drizzle.
Give me a glazed donut because there's too many options. Give me glazed.
Oh my God, you're halfway there. Pick your sixth donut: blueberry cake, apple pie, dark chocolate fudge with sprinkles, or lemon lavender.
Dark chocolate fudge with sprinkles.
Selected. Okay. Funfetti, peppermint mocha, cinnamon sugar, or matcha, for fuck's sake.
Cinnamon sugar.
Collect.
I want a fucking donut now so badly.
Cronut. God, I want a cronut. Orange, mango, or a maple bar, which is basically like a sad eclair, but it's made of maple. Cronut. Orange looks like it's a glazed with like a huge orange layer, like an orange.
I want that one.
Icing on top. Yeah, I think I would go with cronut.
I want that one.
Custard filled with powdered sugar. Fruity Pebbles, banana, or jelly. And all the jelly ones look like boobs because they have them face up with their little jelly.
I don't want
spurts
any of
sticking out.
those.
They look like you have to pick one. Custard, Fruity Pebbles, which is just a glazed with crunchy.
Yeah,
Fruity
they
Pebbles
have
on
all
top.
those at the Amish market. So far, you haven't hit one they don't have. I guess I'll do, what was the first one?
It's for me. It comes down to custard or jelly. Custard, fruity cereal,
Custard.
Yeah,
They have all of these at the Amish market. I was like, who gets this shit? And then inevitably, there's a gummy worm Fruity Pebble behind me. And I'm like,
I guarantee
sorry.
they don't have this at the Amish market. The first
Go
one
ahead.
they have plain cake. The second, raspberry margarita,
Nope, they don't have that.
cherry, and toasted coconut.
Plain cake. I love me a good old-fashioned
Never
donut.
gone that way. All right. Champagne, dulce de leche, old-fashioned sour cream. That's the one that looks like they squeeze it out like a churro and then coated it in sugar. Or Boston cream. Fuck, they put the good ones in the same one.
Boston cream.
Yeah, I guess you're right there. Choose your final donut. Thank you. Where have you been all my life? Hot chocolate, the cruller, powdered, or chocolate pecan. It's only one choice. It's only one choice. Only
What
one
was the
choice.
last one?
It's not the cruller, so what does it matter? Hot chocolate, cruller,
No.
powdered, and chocolate pecan.
Cruller.
You're right. That's a good.
You are correct. Yeah, cruller is just, that's cake. I do have a weakness for an old-fashioned, This says you're a walking douchebag, Melissa, and you were born under
I was
Satan's.
so optimistic. I really was optimistic. You are 16 and your birth month is February.
So I'm going to say BuzzFeed. So wait, I have 78-year-old eyes, but the appetite of a 16-year-old. So
Okay. All right. If you would like to vindicate yourself, the other BuzzFeed that I pulled up is
they could go fuck themselves.
this has been a massive week and weekend of beginnings and endings. And I'm still, that's why yesterday was so
Weighty.
forcefully cathartic, I think I will
Weighty.
say.
Yeah, it was a very thick.
Even as I sort of wasn't really interested in blowing apart my, calorie triumphs and all the rest of this stuff, at the same time, and I know better than to say I deserve to
Right.
do things that are in the exact opposite of what I know is working and good for me. It was like I was convincing myself I'm going to choose this drink and these calories right
Ugh,
now.
I need that drink.
Because I want my brain and my body to just stop for a minute, and they did. It worked. It worked. It's a lot, and it's not just we are very grateful and fortunate to share the love that we have with our friends, and that means sharing their pain. We have a lot of friends going through the loss of loved ones all at once, all happening right now. So you and I are dealing with that on a personal level. It is totally not a good segue to say this, but it's another kind of ending. School is over. It was a grueling school year in our house, an unequal and overly stressful school year for one of my kids in particular, and I got 3 kids, so everybody's got their own bag to deal with. That just ended on Friday, last day. There's that going on, right? There's also this notion of, it's stupid, but it's a big deal. I was reading and got really engrossed in a book series, a trilogy, and I fucking finished it, and now I got nothing.
Oh, it was that's disappointing.
And
at
it was
the end.
it was the kind where I carried that book, physical book, with me everywhere in case I had 5 minutes in between. I was that in it. I would think about, well, when can I get 20 minutes to read? I'm embarrassed, and I'll tell you, because I like to be embarrassed. That's why I have a podcast. So it's called A Discovery of Witches.
Yeah,
which is just kind of like another grown-up Twilight where they blend all the stupid shit together. But it's the woman who wrote it is a history professor at one of the California universities. So the whole thing is very heavy and accurate on like library detail and what the carols feel like. And it's like, ooh, I'm talking to someone who's read a book before. So, I mean, it was nice. And that, and there's some, there's a little bit of sex in there, and the female character gets all the power, and the men are all suddenly going, she's the greatest of us. And when they had all the power before. So I was like, oh, okay, that's a nice little trope. Haven't seen that before. Anyway, so that was over. So I got nothing now. So I'm like, what am I going to do? Then stupid stuff, my fucking pants ripped open. So my pants that I've been holding on to, because I don't want to go out and buy a whole, you love these jeans, right? I had a pair of jeans that were just the boyfriend style jeans, so they were a little loose anyway.
Love
and
it.
I figured they're a little loose anyway. I'll just wear these until I'm 2 or 3 or 4 sizes down, and then I'll replace, right?
Belt them up, belt them up, belt them up.
Split right down the thigh, never to be worn again. So now I'm walking around wearing fucking clown pants that don't fit. So now I've got to buy in between pants, which is not the same thing as people dying and going to memorials, but it's a thing. It's like everything's going away. My woods are going away. Spring is over. It's a lot. It's like I went to this roller coaster thing and I saw the car that they're in coming to a stop. And then they sat there and then they had to get off. And I'm like, that's how my life feels right now. I want to be off this roller coaster, but at the same time, it's kind of whoosh, everything comes to a Brazilian lemonade vodka sauced stop.
I mean, what do they say? The only constant is change. The only thing that's consistently going to happen in your life is change. My son is graduating high school. Oh my God. He is going to camp. He is going to college right now. I know you're sitting. I shouldn't ask you. He's in Ocean City, Maryland with 4 of his idiot friends, and they're probably drinking and getting in trouble. And they had 2-3 rainy days, Saturday, Sunday. They had 2 rainy days.
Yeah, rainy days at the beach. What could they possibly get in trouble with? Mm-hmm.
Everything bad. So today is the first day that the sun came out. So I don't know. It's probably there till Wednesday. Graduation, it's supposed to pour. Thunderstorms on graduation. They might put it off to the next day, which P.S. was a small gathering of family we were having coming in from New Jersey, like coming in from everywhere, New York, New Jersey. So I don't know. And they're all texting. Is the Saturday still on? Well, I don't know, because graduation might be Saturday instead of Friday.
He'll still graduate, yeah.
So I don't even know how to handle. And they're like, are we still coming? And I had spaced it out, so I had no more than like 10 people in my house at the time. All vaccinated, everybody. But mentally, I'm still a little tweaked about too many people in this room in general. Stuart read an article this morning about being an outgoing introvert.
Yep.
And he said, Melissa, this is really both of us. Like when you said it, I don't know, 7 years ago about yourself, I said, she's just talking. Thanks, honey.
I'm glad we're married. Yeah, that makes me feel good.
I'm glad I recommit to this every time I wake up in the morning.
Feel a true connection, soul to soul. Yeah.
But thanks. New York Times tells you it's a real thing and describes it to you in detail, and you find yourself in it. So I have all of these things, COVID hits, wear a mask, don't be in public. I kind of took to that a little too well. I kind of dug it, really. So I guess what I missed was physical contact, which you still don't get too much of, which is fine. So having these people here, is it Friday? Is it Saturday? Saturday, you could come to my house, but I'm probably going to be at a graduation because it's raining. All of these things, constant of change. If that's what you don't like, you need to go back to a pandemic, because what was constant there was seclusion and isolation.
And some stranger picking out your canned goods. I mean, the whole thing. You don't ever leave your house. That's it. You could go to your backyard maybe if nobody's
So
in it.
can we agree that some of these changes, right now you're looking at changes as all endings, right? That's really what you're talking about. The way this stops, the way it's the beginnings that we need to embrace.
There are beginnings, and I sit here and I stare out over the backyard that I own into the backyard that I pretended I owned. It used to be a glorious
Thick, lush.
20 acre wood. And now it is, have you ever seen that painting Haystacks?
Oh, yeah.
Remember? Yeah,
Just
where it's just
desolate, yeah.
It's just fall, and it's just this orange color, and they have mounds and mounds of hay, and the whole thing looks very windswept and artistic. Well, they call it red clay because of the earth down here. The earth is orange, and they've done nothing but strip mine it. So it is, and the way that they remove the tree stumps is to come in, not stumps, the roots far below the soil. They come in with a backhoe. After they've ripped out all the trees, which they've done, they then dig up these giant root tentacles, upend them, so the things that were once in the earth are facing up toward the sun.
That's so cool.
It's kind of, if it wasn't so
Sad.
emotionally charged, it's kind of a beautiful abstract.
It's so cool.
It really looks like haystacks. So I'm looking out at my few, measly trees, and beyond them, it's just dirt. It's just orange, caked, mounded, scored, bizarre, root-addled earth.
Show me a
And at the
beginning
same
there,
time-
please.
Well, no. At the same time, I have more sunlight on the back of my house than ever. I have morning sun. I have beautiful sunsets. Nothing is blocked by the trees, which is sad. But now the whole backyard is bright and sunny. Things where we felt like, gosh, it's so shady back here, and it's kind of cool, gorgeous. You can use it a little bit more. Maybe that won't stay. But it's just this notion that summer in the South is here. Summer is coming. Summer in the sense that the expectations for schedules have changed. There's a freedom in that. With everything that's ending, it's like, okay, now what's next? So
Yeah.
there's this excitement about I can step into the next thing. And I'm working on a novel. I had kind of a breakthrough this week. So that starts like turning a tap on. So that's been flowing a little bit better. And I just have to say it because I'm really kind of hung up about it. The thing that I was not doing effectively, there's a kind of a very important sex scene in the thing. And I thought, you know what? This other book that I was reading, it had some stupid, the sex scenes were steamy, but the language that she used in the sex scenes
Can totally ruin it.
You would be reading along and I'm like, what? Like all of a sudden I'd hear this thing and I would go, no, that's not the, stop
saying labia. That is not appropriate.
Or it would be even worse than that. It was, I can't even remember what it was, but they were words that pulled you out of it and in the totally wrong direction. Like not even a clinical way, pulled you into like a childish way. And I'm like, ew, like it just was a hard stop. So anyway, and I was like,
entered
nope.
my no square.
Yes,
What?
something. I'm like, no, lady, stop it. Gross. Oy. And there was a lot of like mounds and, come on, you got a degree in something, you can figure this out.
My
Anyway,
mons pubis was
so
pulsating. I was pulsating. My labia minora was all it.
Yeah,
I felt
no.
the blood rush to my, okay.
No. No. Just gross. So after having gone all the way through that, just to see if she's going to get the fucking powers in the end, right? Does she get the bow and arrow or not? Right? I was reading. Okay. So after I got all that, I was like, well, if I ever write a sex scene, knowing in my head,
It
the
won't
book
be
has a
this.
lot. My book has a lot of sex in it. It's kind of about sex. So then I thought, all right, I'm not going to do it this way. But then how am I going to do it? Oh, what am I? I just started fixating on it. And I was like, just shut up and do it. So I sat down and I wrote the thing. And I was aiming for steamy. And I overshot it. So I have to pull back because I believe it's sort of pornographic.
Oh, I
So
love it. Send it to me right
I
now.
almost did because I knew you would endorse it. And I thought, nope, she's not the right one. I'm not sending it to
Aw.
her. No, because you would be like, yeah, keep it. No, I'm not doing that.
Keep it,
So
keep it.
No.
Then just send it to me and don't keep it.
Stop it. So anyway,
Damn it.
I wrote it. And then once I wrote it, other things that I kept going back and forth like a pendulum, maybe I should do it this way. Maybe I should do it that way. For weeks now, I've been debating the way to address the plot, the character, what order of the scenes, how does this happen? As soon as that stupid paragraph was written, 4 pages after it, and then the next ones. And
That's amazing.
I can't, now I'm doing like what I used to do with carrying that book around. Do I have 15 minutes? Where's my keyboard? Like, so I'm
That's
fortunate.
great.
So that feels good. That feels really good and makes me think that, oh, I can do this. I can get back on track. I've also been doing a lot of this self-help. I keep it all to myself because I know how fucking annoying people like me are when we do this stupid shit. But the self-help stuff is working. It's really good. So, and every day I'm tempted, I should tell people about this. And I'm like, just don't. Nobody wants to hear about your self-help. Just help yourself. That's why it's self. Just shut up, do it, and go away. Okay?
Wait,
if you're
is that
happy,
why they named it self-help?
If you look happy, they'll ask you. And then
And
you
they'll
can
be
say,
happy for you. Yeah.
right. And then they'll say, I've heard enough. Stop. Just the lemon recipe. That's it. We don't need anything else from you. So anyway, new beginnings. Are you having any new beginnings? Or are you like me, stuck in the sad afterglow of, well, all that shit's over now?
Well, I'm on the constant search for my third act, and that is a new beginning that kind of looms over me. But I know that both of my kids towards the end of June are going to be at camp for at least 7 weeks, right? 7.5 weeks. And
Shorter than usual, but still sizable.
right. And I'm going to have to, in that time, pack my son for school, which, I mean, is right up my alley. When he's home, I complain about, how come you're not helping me? And the true answer from him is, can't you just do it?
And the true answer from you is, you're going to
Yeah.
take what I tell you. So
Yeah.
why does he need to get in the middle of this?
He doesn't. And he's not going to because he'll be away, also in lockdown due to COVID. So he can't even come home for days off to say, yes, this bedding pattern is great for me. I'll take it. A, he doesn't give a fuck. And B, he doesn't give a fuck. Like, I can't
Right.
be clearer. So I said, what about like gray and navy, like in the gray, black, navy, like in that family? He's like, Mom. I
Any
don't give a
sentence that
fuck.
starts with what about, you just answer yourself.
Right. And I have an amazing comprehensive list from my sister-in-law of what he should go. And we've talked about this. He has our Amazon account. If there's something he's missing, he'll plug in his address and he will send it to himself. And that is almost fine by me. Can you check it out? It's almost fine by me.
Just a quick pounce in here. I know it's not a new beginning, but the stupidest child I have, the one right in the middle, he's in the throes of learner permit dumb.
Yeah.
And I emphasis on the dumb. And he looks at me and he says, as I'm having him now, every time we ride together, I force
Drive.
him to get the gas, right? Just to go. I don't know how. I've shown you how to do this.
Okay, yeah.
Because he doesn't want to do it. He's not a person who wants to go into the store.
I love that you're going to the gas station in the first place. To me, that
I-
means you're not going to get stranded on the roadside and hope that people love to help.
I've started fucking doing this now.
Okay,
It's
thank
such
you.
a pain in my ass. So he doesn't want to go in and buy the takeout order and pay for the thing. He doesn't want to go in while you sit in the car and get the bag of whatever that you forgot. Like he's just not that person. He doesn't want to take the register receipt up to the counter and pay so we can all go and exit the restaurant. He never wants to be that person. So even getting the gas, can't you just do it? No, get out. You're going to learn this. So while he's out there, one of the questions he asks me, all right, well, what about this? And does it always have to be this grade? And blah, blah, blah. And he says, okay, so shouldn't I get a debit card? Shouldn't I get some kind of a credit or a debit card? Because how am I going to pay for the gas? Do you just give me that? The magic debit card filled with money that's going to supply
Filled-
your life with gas? In a
Directly
card
from
that I'm
my
gonna give
account?
you? Yes.
That's right back to
Oh.
knock it off, Whitey. That's right
all
back
my friends
to...
all my friends have connections to their parents' Amazon cards, and all my friends have credit accounts at the pool cafe, and all my friends have a special family credit card that they use to order Grubhub for all of us. He has a friend who regularly,
That's a
when
very
they're
wealthy
hanging
friend.
out, they're just, I don't know why their parents do this. I don't know why their parents do this. And I love their parents. I don't know why. The kid will have the ability to like order Taco Bell at 2:00 in the morning and have it delivered. And he's done this before. Well, and I mean, I guess maybe they only do this during like sleepover times. But to my kid, he's like a shiny metal object.
Yes.
Who are you, Diamond? How did this work?
And
Yeah.
how do I get it?
Right. And we're like, if you find a penny in the sofa in this house, it is mine.
Ding, 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 ding.
Give it back. You can't even keep that. Like, no, you're not going to live this fantasy lifestyle of free-flowing Taco Bell and debit cards for the car you don't have. So be grateful that your child at least has the good sense to have access to your Amazon
Yeah.
and not have already bought like 14, I don't know, popcorn makers, or I don't know what the fuck he would buy. Hopefully something stupider than that.
He worked for a while. I'm pretty sure that son of yours, who I saw a picture on Instagram or Facebook, is gorgeous. I don't know when he grew 3 heads taller than you and
He's very tall.
went
He's a
from
big
like,
boy.
you know, that baby webbed look to being a man and gorgeous. Like I'm very bothered by how my friends' children have grown, and at the top of that list is your son.
he's
your
very good.
middle son.
He's got good eyes, good hair, good height. It's all good. And then
He's
he wants to come over.
gorgeous.
Then he wants to come over and ask you for a debit card. Brian?
It's your verbiage. It's that voice in your head, changing it from I have to I get to.
Yep. That's a
I
good one.
have to drive to Ocean City, Maryland to bail my son out of jail. No, I get to drive to Ocean City, Maryland to bail my kid out of jail.
Isn't that great?
That's how I have to think.
Isn't that great?
Right now, I get to say, dear listener, thank you for listening today. I'm so grateful for you. If you would like to reach out and tell us things that are gross in your life or opportunities that you get to do, please write us at brilliantobservations@gmail.com. Goes right to our pants and directly to our smell phones. And you can find us, Brilliant Observations, at Facebook, at Brillobs Squad in there as well. Listen Brilliant is our hashtag in addition to our @ you can @ us. Listen Brilliant on Instagram and Twitter. That's where you could find us. And all I'm asking is that you find us. So come find us and tell a friend about us, because you're still fucking here, which means
right.
you still get something out of this.
right.
And we still are grateful. So